Everybody, let me say what a privilege it is for me to welcome you here in the heart of La Scène Musicale. We are just outside Paris, in France. I'd like to thank you most sincerely for accepting our invitation in such great numbers. We are honored by your presence here today, and we feel a great sense of responsibility. As you know, 4 months ago, we announced the merger of our two great companies, Overture Technology, so-called OT, and Safran Identity and Security, so-called Morpho, with the ambition of creating the worldwide leader in digital security and identification technologies. Yes, the worldwide leader. A few numbers. Close to $3 billion in aggregated sales. 14,000 employees worldwide. More than 80 nationalities among those employees. Serving customers in almost 180 countries around the world. And here are a few figures in addition to illustrate the power and the depth of our business. Last year, 2016, we sold together, OT and Morpho, more than 2 billion products, embedding our secure devices, secure operating systems, secure software, under the form of payment cards, SIM cards, phones, identification documents, wearable watches, etc., you name it. 2 billion products were distributed worldwide in 1 year. It means statistically that close to 40% of the world population has received last year a technology product from OT Morpho, securing its transaction or its access right. More than 40% of the world population. Which company can claim that? We are trusted by more than 1,800 financial institutions, more than 500 mobile operators, by major industrial OEMs in the automotive space, in the smartphone space, in the industrial space. In the government field, we are number 1 in police biometric systems. We are number 1 in civil identity solutions where OT and Morpho together have supplied to date, again, more than 3 billion identification documents, passports, ID cards, etc. Again, this is more than 40% of the world population, which statistically has received an identity document thanks to an OT Morpho product, 40% of the world population. In the US, more than 170 million of our driving licenses are currently in use. This is 80% of the total market. In R&D, which is important to us, as you know, we own close to 1,400 patents. And I could continue on and on like that. We joined forces to create the, I repeat, the world leader in digital security and identification technology exactly at the time, because in life timing is everything, exactly at the time when the world we live in today, and of course the world of tomorrow, is facing crucial challenges related to the identification, protection of devices, objects, and above all, individuals. Identify and protect, those two words could pretty much sum up our mission, our raison d'être, you could say. But our mission, the way we see it, goes well over and beyond just protecting objects and people. We are also here to help and support, to actively contribute to the development of societies and the social advancement of their most vulnerable and fragile members, by providing them with our most innovative solution. And what we can bring to them is the next most precious thing after life itself. We allow each individual to exist in the eyes of the society. So of course this, for people living in the Western world, doesn't necessarily mean a lot. But one of the most fundamental rights that a large fringe of people unfortunately do not benefit from is an identity. Do you know that today, in the world, over 2 billion people do not have a form of legal identity in the developing world? 2 billion. So look what we have done in India with Aadhaar. Aadhaar is the largest ever ID program in the world, implemented by Morpho a few years ago. We have created there a digital identity for 1.1 billion Indian people. Yes, 1.1 billion. Just to give you an idea, 1.1 billion people in a database, this is the size of Facebook. Such a database is used daily, hourly, and is used currently at a rate of 800 million pings per month by businesses, banks, telecom operators, you name it, to authenticate individuals in their life, to grant bank accounts, to grant communication accounts, to authenticate individuals in their digital life, commercial life, transaction, every day. 800 million a month. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you here are our clients, prospects, journalists, opinion leaders, professionals working in politics, public sector, partners, etc., all decision makers. All of you are the witnesses and the observers, the analysts, the messengers, and obviously the actors of this world, which is changing today like never before. Those changes, this disruption happens at a faster pace every day, generating ever greater quantities of security problems and challenges that we must address. And why is that? We at Morpho, we have identified 4 major trends influencing those changes. The first one, we have to deal with the exponential increase of connected objects, devices and services. Automotive, home, energy, healthcare, industry, waste management, farming, finance, you name it. IoT, Internet of Things, is everywhere, everywhere. In 2025, more than 25 billion connected devices will mean 25 billion opportunities for professional hackers to get hold of our lives, to get into your home, to get into your car, to get into your phone, to get to at your cameras. And this is not science fiction. I don't mean that to frighten people. Let's take concrete example, cars, automotive. In 2015, probably you remember, 2 US hackers succeeded of remotely taking control of an onboard computer of a car. I will not mention the brand because this brand has become one of our customers since, to fix a problem. They started to take control of the windshield, the wipers, and the radio. That's the fun part. But they also proven that they could shut off the engine and the brakes. Just imagine what they could do with the car fleet. Just after this happened, the group in question, again, key customer of us today, announced that almost 500,000 vehicles were potentially affected. Believe me, the hottest R&D topic at the moment on the planet, the autonomous driving, the autonomous car, that will not happen until we fix the problem. Until we give full confidence to you, me, to the driver, to the consumer, that the risk is under control and that the risk has disappeared. Who would give away his his steering wheel thinking that it could be taken by a hacker somewhere? Nobody would do that. In the personal credit area, in the finance area, actually I had to refresh this speech 2 weeks ago to mention the major hack of an American company, US-based company, leaking 100 million of personal data, including bank accounts and US social security numbers, 100 million. When you know how important the US social security number is, you can understand how critical that is. And let me tell you why this type of risk will continue to increase exponentially. Very simple reason, 25 billion devices connected, more and more devices means more and more connections, and because those connections are still made using worldwide open networks necessary for enhancing the business via standard protocols, this means they can be hacked more easily and affect thousands of devices at once. So our mission is both simple and complex. We must not only secure the life of people, but also the devices, the objects that are interacting with those people. That was the first way. The second one is just as massive as the first one, and as powerful. It's the exponential growth of exchanges. I am talking about exchanges of data, exchanges of money, exchanges of movement of people, population migration, etc., etc. We see that again every day. And here, once again, the figures speak for themselves. Mobile data traffic will grow 8 times from 2015 to 2020. 5 million years, 3 trillion minutes of video content will cross the internet each month. 5 million years in 2020. Air passenger traffic, TISH, will double in the next 10 years or so to more than 7 billion passengers a year. Statistically, every people on the planet will take a flight in 2020. And the situation can change overnight also, very rapidly. Allow me to give you an example that I'm picking from my latest trip to India 2 weeks ago. There is a major network operator in India, I should say a digital experience provider. The customer, my client, his client is in the room and insisted that I should call the company a digital experience provider, which I think illustrates well what they are trying to do. They have introduced a groundbreaking special offer of data on data consumption a year ago. And in the space of just 1 year, this offer has propelled the Indian market to the #1 position in the world in terms of data consumption per inhabitant. A year ago, India was ranked number 150. Yes, 150 in the year in terms of data consumption per inhabitant. In 1 year, they jumped to #1. Today, the average consumption by Indian in terms of data per month is 1.2 gigabyte, twice the US, more than China, in India, thanks to one promotion, one strategic view by one company in 1 year. Total disruption of the market, from 150 to #1. So you see, things are changing so rapidly. You can take money, data, leisure, travel, or communication, the same thing is true everywhere. The increase in exchanges leads to an increase in the development of major risks. And the challenge is the same in every country, in every firm, in every transaction, in every device. How to manage that massive increase of volume of data, while at the same time enhancing the security in a rapidly changing world. And it's a world where the physical and the digital borders don't exist. They just blend, they just merge. And they are tested to the limits. Then our mission is to embrace those challenges by creating solutions that are addressing new sectors, people, issues, players, and threats. This was the second challenge. How to manage, how to cope with exponential growth of exchanges. The third one, the third big trend, which is one that we have been seeing now since quite some time. It's not going to be a surprise, I'm going to be fast on this one, is the digitalization of the economy. Papers, contracts, signatures, order controls, product, transaction, currencies, all those physicals and tangible things that we used to be able to touch or put in a safe, which requires to be physically face-to-face with someone else or something else. All this is gradually slipping faster and faster towards becoming intangible. Again, a few figures, illustrating to what to expect going forward. In Europe, 180 million shoppers online, half of the population, generating more than 200 billion online sales in 2016. In addition, online and mobile platforms are developing, like peer-to-peer transportation, like peer-to-peer communication, like collaborative finance, and this sharing economy, which is not well addressed today by the standard industries, facilitates more than 30 billion transactions just within Europe. But look, most innovations so far are focused on securing physical payments in the physical space, with our payment card mostly. But when you look at payment security in the digital space, on the internet, really, it is still Stone Age. I mean by that, sending a second security code through an SMS to secure an online transaction. What an innovation. What a brilliant innovation. The result is that when you look to the world, the whole world of transaction, financial transaction, today 50% of all payment transaction fraud, 50%, half of it, in the world, is linked to online transaction. 50%. Whereas online transactions represent less than 10% of total transactions. So, we have a twofold mission. First, we have to do, for the digital space, the same thing we have done in the past for the physical world. Secure and make sure security is effective. And two, we have also to anticipate the incredible opportunities that come from the sharing economy, when transactions don't occur between individuals and businesses, but between individuals. That was the third trend. And finally, last but not least, we have also a fourth mass phenomenon, which is called technology consumerization. In other words, today technology is no longer in the hands of the people who create it. It's no longer for the primary use of businesses, but in the hands of those who use it every day. That means you, me, the consumer, the end customer, you, me, everybody. And so, as security professionals, this means that our technology has to meet different criteria than before. And we see three criteria. First, it must be easy to use, because it's adopted so quickly by the end user. Easy to use. So we need to come up with intuitive user interface, application-based, app-based. Two, you absolutely need as a business to be first on the market. Why? Because in the internet in the internet space, the winner takes it all. So you have to be first. And three, you have to offer the right retail price. For example, asking someone to pay $1,500 for connected glasses just doesn't work. It doesn't work if you don't have the right price point. This new environment means a few things for every sector, for every firm, which wants to play in that game. We have to revisit our R&D processes, our development policies, and our marketing strategies. So our ambition is going to be quite straightforward. We want to be the first to deliver convenient and easy to use products at the right cost. So that's how that's our vision of the world today and how it's going to look like going forward. Exponential growth of connected objects, exponential growth of exchanges, digitization of the economy, and technology consumerization. And obviously this world, more than ever, requires a new value proposition, a new offer that will meet those four major trends. And of course, this new offer has to be carried out by a new company. We are this company. This is a strategic view behind merging OT and Morpho. We are creating the one and only company that is able to combine and offer security, convenience, what we call the human factor, and continuity. We call it the magic combination. Allow me to explain. Security first. What does that mean for us? It means two things. It means our approach to secure the access and manage the access right to critical use case, identification, payment, and communication. Our clients rely on us to provide critical solutions, to authenticate a passport or make sure that payment means is bulletproof. But more and more, especially in the digital space, we must ensure the security of mission-critical systems for our clients. For example, what is a mission-critical system? For example, a real-time connection to a car, a real-time generation of authentication code to authorize a transaction, a real-time analysis of videos originating from thousands of surveillance cameras to prevent tragic events. As the leader, we have an unmatched experience, and this allows us to address and secure every type of critical use case. That's a security point. Convenience, very key. What does convenience mean to us? It's very simple. It means turning very complex technologies into something that is easy to use, fast, and as we say now, very popular word, frictionless for the consumer. It is an essential attribute to everything we do. If enhancing security implies more and more constraints for the end user, more and more passwords, more and more codes for the consumer to remember, we miss the point. The consumer wants bulletproof security, but no constraints, frictionless experience, easy to use, convenience. Let me give you one example again, just to support the vision. Did you know this? I'm sure you didn't know that. When you shop online and you receive an SMS on your smartphone to secure your online purchase, do you know that introducing this technology, of course, does actually enhance security? Everybody knows that, but is reducing revenue conversion for the e-commerce site by up to 25%. 25% revenue loss when you introduce the SMS technology. Which company can afford to lose 25% revenue opportunity? None. That shouldn't be the price to pay to enhance security. Let me give you the example of technology which we are very proud of, the motion code technology, put on the market by OT quite some time ago. The traditional static 3-digit code on the back of a payment card is replaced with this technology by a mini screen displaying a code which is refreshing every hour. This solution makes it useless for fraudsters to copy card information, and it's proven by the customer, our customer who have deployed it in the field. It has eradicated online payment fraud in all countries where it has been deployed. And what is the best and most innovative aspect of this invention? The best is that it does not require any change for the end user. It is fully transparent for the end user. No re-education, no training of the end user. Almost zero change in payment infrastructure. Convenience. the recipe for success. So, this is what convenience is about. 3, the human factor. Let me explain again what it means to us. What is more convenient, a more efficient way to define the security credential than what you are? What you are, as opposed to what you have to remember. Years ago, Morpho invented the biometric technology, decades ago I should say. And for decades it has been breaking new ground every year in this field. And this means that today we are the undisputed leader in that field. This is what we call the human factor. Instead of using PIN codes, security codes, password, etc., that you must remember, using your fingerprint, your face, your iris, your voice, your heartbeat, whatever. In other words, replacing what you must remember by what you are. And in addition, the more you prove who you are through biometrics, the more critical the level of transaction you can access to is, or can be. This is the third factor. And last but not least, the fourth one, continuity. What does continuity mean to us? It means addressing all worlds in which a human being is evolving. Physical world, of course, but also the digital world. Commercial, of course, but also civil world. This is what I call the 7th continent. Why? Because as we need a physical passport to travel between 5 or even 6 continents, we also need a digital identity to travel the 7th continent, the digital space. And again, we need to provide the consumer with a seamless and frictionless experience between the physical and the digital. Thanks to our specific and complementary field of expertise, we are the only company capable of simultaneously addressing all environments and providing a bridge between those different worlds, the physical and the digital. So what about our mission? Up to now, new innovation, new use case were approached and designed without necessarily raising the question of security first. And when you do that, this question inevitably comes back and bites you when you meet with problems. When you look in the past, you see that most major inventions, like the computer and the internet, were born this way. First the invention, second the security. First the door, then the lock. But in today's world, and of course in the world to come, our physical and digital, what we call digital worlds, the question is no longer how to secure, but how to be sure, how to build in security from the start. How to make sure that the smartphone that can make a purchase now belongs to the buyer. How to make sure that the person carrying out a transaction is indeed the owner of the smartphone. So from a security aspect, we have moved onto a question of identity and authentication. The world is more connected for both individual and object, and this means that identification and authentication become more critical. This means being able to control our identities and credentials in every interaction or transaction we do every day. To connect, to pay, to exchange, to travel, or even to vote. In fact, everything is about identification. Identification, you are you. And it's about authentication. Only you can be you. It's all about identity. And better than identity, it's all about what we have called, what we have chosen to call, augmented identity. Augmented identity means an enhanced identity. I am able to do more things and enjoy life. Augmented identity means an adaptable identity, which means my identity is adapted to the environment, physical, digital, whatever, and to the use case I'm going through. It means also a reinforced identity, stronger identity trusted by everybody. And finally, it means also a self-sovereign identity. I am the source of my identity, and I am in direct control of my identity. Augmented identity is all that. It is security that we benefit from every minute of every day without even seeing it, without even knowing it, without remembering passwords. It's what we can call also native identity, built-in identity, built-in each individual. It's a security that protects us and allows us to enjoy life to the full and with even greater peace of mind. Retina, fingerprint, face biometrics, DNA. Here are tomorrow's augmented solutions. This is a really exciting vision. But behind the vision and supporting the vision, let me show you that this is already starting. Not only to be a vision, to become reality, thanks to our technology. So, let's take a look at this video.